Right. Where does one begin? Alright, I know well. I've tried to record this a few times now. Recorded it like 3 times. I was going to actually sit down face to face until I realised how much of an ugly looking person I am. And I decided, hell no, I'm not going to talk to you of seeing that thing, because no thanks, I don't even see that myself. So I'm giving you the privilege of only hearing my voice. But I need to go into some detail about some stuff. I'm not the type of person to be active as much on TikTok or YouTube or anywhere really, any platform. I just play my games, chill out, make a few clips, make some content, stream occasionally. That's all I do. But recently, a bit of drama has sparked in my life, and I feel like I should cover it. Now, this does affect other people that I know that I've recently met them. I've known them for just over 2 weeks now. So, for privacy reasons, I'm not going to be atting any of them in the comments. I will only be atting one of them, and it's because she also made a TikTok on the same situation, which unfortunately I'm pretty sure got taken down. So just in case, this will be on TikTok, will be on YouTube. If it goes on other platforms, it goes on other platforms. Just so you know. Anyways, let's finally get into the situation. Grab some popcorn, grab some snacks, grab a drink or two. It's going to be a long one. It's going to be a long one here. So sit tight, relax, and enjoy what I've got to say. Alright, so the TikTok account, or the screenshot showing your screen currently, is going to be the person we're talking about today. Now, I would like to disclose before I go any further, I'm not sending any hate towards him. Okay, I'm just here to talk about a bit of a controversy. If you're going to send hate to them, I do not condone it. Please do not do that. I'm not asking you to go hate on them. As much as they might deserve it currently, no one deserves that in the long run. Alright? So please do not go send hate towards them. I'm only making this TikTok and this video in general to make people aware of the situation. Anyways, so person on the screen, a screenshot of the TikTok account on screen. Her name's Sylphix. Pretty pleasant person on the outside. Pretty easygoing. Pretty chill, I'd say. But under that, hides a big, large secret. And that secret is she is a childish nepotism little child. Yep. She's a nepo baby. She's childish. Like, I could go on and on with words, I know, and that's 2 words I'm going to use to describe her. But recently, and you'll probably find this really stupid and hard to believe, so strap yourself in for this one. All this drama has kicked off over a Minecraft realm. Nope, I'm not fucking shitting you, I'm not joking. This has all stemmed from a Minecraft realm. I wish I was joking. So, Sylphix, I don't want to call her a victim or suspect, she isn't not really one of them. The person we're talking about, we'll say. So, Sylphix here, likes hosting things with a community. Fair enough, get a community involved, it's a nice way to grow your content. Fair enough, smart idea. And she has a Discord server as well. I'm not going to be linking it, no, I'm not sending hate towards her. And she likes to play with viewers a lot in different games. And recently, she started up a Minecraft realm. This was only a few days ago she started it. And of course, myself and a few other people have been playing on it very consistently. Just doing their own thing. So, and recently, she got really pissed off because in her rules, she stated that there's no stealing. I woke up at, what time was it? I woke up around 7:30 in the morning yesterday to a message from her saying, "Have you stole some horse armour from me?" But stupid. Okay, but I feel like I don't need to go into a bit of detail for it. So she asked me, did I steal something? And I said no, I had not. And kind of went back and forth until she said that one of the other server members had got it off of me and apparently stole it off of her in a way. But I actually stole it off of her. I don't know. It was confusing. I just said I hadn't given anybody anything, which was true at the time. But anyways, so fast forward to just after midnight last night, where the whole thing closed. The whole realm just casually shut down as we were all playing it. We were all confused, and we look at the Discord. Lo and behold, message right there. Says, screenshots are on your screen now, but I will be reading them out just for a convenient sake. So, she says, I'm not dealing with being called names, because I shut down a fucking server. Grow up. I asked her, can you respectfully open it back up, because we kinda want to play. And she said, no, you're not welcome in my server, I'm making you the example. First of all, you're not making anyone an example, you're making yourself look like an absolute fool, like an absolute child, and you're also abusing your power. So, that's 3 things right there that are already wrong, and are only 3 sentences deep in this. I said, okay, the fuck did I do? That was the last thing I got to send, before I was booted out that server faster than, you could say, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. So, that is absolutely grand. That's brilliant. Luckily, someone else who was in the server got these screenshots for me. Not linking their TikTok, for obvious reasons. Unless they want me to, then I'll put them in the comments. But other than that, thank you to that person. You know who you are. I appreciate the screenshots. This has helped out massively with this video. So you have very much made this possible. Anyways, she then replied, called me names. I was already gone at this point, so I wouldn't be able to see that. And then, friend here, which she's called Jules. Her TikTok will be linked below. She also helped massively in this. She was also a former mod of Sylphix, both on TikTok and on Discord. So she did make a video already about this. If she makes another one, definitely check it out. If not, do show some love and support. Her TikTok is brilliant. But anyways, she went ahead and said, no, he didn't. He was on about the behaviour. I don't know how to word that. Should come forward and say, at this point, after I asked why the server had been shut down, and she gave a reason. I said, well, that's a bit fucking childish because it's one stupid tiny reason, and some of us are actually playing on it perfectly fine. And she thought I called her childish, so she got a bit pissy at that, let's say. Anyways, moving on. So basically, she said, so he shouldn't speak to me like that. He's gone. I'm fed up. A wrong night to start on me. Okay, second of all, wrong night to start on us, because guess what? It's literally 10 minutes past 12 in the morning. I literally have to be up at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I cannot be absolutely fucked dealing with your petty, childish drama. So, wrong night to start on me as well, and you made it a lot worse. So, congratulations. If you want to be a childish little brat, I'll be childish right back to you. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, you get tasted your own medicine. Brilliant. Anyways, moving on. Basically, this is the whole long-ass paragraph that she said. Just read it out for convenience sake, but you can also read it in your own time. Just pause and read through. Anyways, it says, hey, I need to say this properly because it's been building up and it's starting to ruin the experience for me. I'm not enjoying how the realm is going right now. Today alone, I've had multiple situations where I've been charged ridiculous prices for basic items, asked to pay for simple help like coordinates, and even had something taken from me and basically paid off of a single diamond. That's not okay. That's where I'm going to pause and cover that first little block. Okay, first of all, the point where she says I've been charged ridiculous prices for basic items. She's talking about one stage where she asked for a bunch of dirt. I had 9 stacks, and she offered 10 diamonds, of course. I'm a businessman. I like to haggle my prices, so I said 25. And then she just shut the fuck up and accepted wood from our little boyfriend, which we'll get back to. We'll get back to him in just a moment. Don't you worry. We'll cover him in just a sec. But basically, that's what she meant by ridiculously high prices for basic items. I'm sorry, but that is how negotiation and trade in the works, okay? Sorry to bust your bubble. Anyways, moving on to the next part where she said, asked to pay for simple help like coordinates. Nobody's actually told us she has to pay to get coordinates. We've been sharing coordinates with each other, and she's also never asked anyone in that server for any coordinates to anything. So, well, at least from what I know of, I've not had the experience. I've been on that for hours and hours on end. I've not saw her say anything about it. So, let's be fair. Nobody's forced her to pay for coordinates. Okay. Anyways, moving on to the next part where she's even had something taken from me and basically paid off of a single diamond. She's referring to this stupid diamond horse armor. As if you play Minecraft regularly, you know the only horse armor you can craft is leather horse armor or netherite horse armor, as long as you've found diamond horse armor previously and used a smithing table. If you don't know that, there you go, bit of knowledge for you. Anyways, basically, they're hard to come by, and she was pissed that it got taken off her by another server member who will not be named for safety and obvious reasons, I guess. I'm not really naming many people in this besides the two people that sort of started this, and of course Jules, because she's helped out massively with us. And yeah. Anyways, next paragraph states there's also been issues with people building on my island without really respecting what I've already got there, and then changing or removing things after I've said something. When I just asked for a small change, it got taken as me complaining and turned into something else entirely, which wasn't my intention. Okay, let's break that one down as well. There's also been an issue of people building on my island without really respecting what I've already got there. She's referring to when Jules decided to make a bridge across the water from her bit to her island because it is more convenient for her to do that. And she was complaining that it was too big. No, this was not some type of bridge that spanned the length and the width of the Great Wall of fucking China. No, this was a simple, basic bridge. Simple, basic bridge. And because it was 4 or 5 blocks in width, she didn't like that, actually. Let me correct myself, actually. It was 8 blocks in length, including the 2 posts. So without the posts, it would have been 6 blocks in length. Her path is only 3. She got pissed off about it, so we destroyed the bridge and we moved on from there. So she's still pissed off about that, apparently. Grow up. Anyways, and then changing or removing things after I said something when I asked for a small change. Okay, you said you didn't like the bridge and asked us to remove it. We removed the bridge. We respected your wishes. Point. There's my other point. I don't really need to break down anything else in there because, yeah. The next section also then states, I also want to point out that this kind of behaviour is going to push people away if new players join, especially when I start streaming again. And they see people charging crazy amounts for basic things or refusing to help unless they get paid. They're not going to want to be a part of it. Oh yeah, let's break that down. Okay, I understand her point with this one. Surprisingly, shocker, I'm aware. I actually agree with something she said. That is honestly surprising. No, that's a lie actually. I don't fully agree with what she said. I only partially agree with what she said. Yeah, might look bad to somebody new. But also at the same time, you have to realise people aren't going to do things out of their own time when they have their own things to do. Okay? So, of course I gotta charge prices, of course I gotta charge goods to do things for you. Okay? That is how it's gonna work. You can't just expect people to do things that you want them to do, but then as soon as you want somebody to do something for you, you charge them, but it can't be the other way around. Does not make any sense. I don't know if I've explained that well. I'll explain it again at another point, and if I forget to, I apologise. But yeah. And as for charging crazy prices for basic items, first of all, some of them were a joke. Second of all, you're asking for a lot of that one basic item, so it's going to take a lot of goods or diamonds or iron or whatever the fuck she's asking for, okay? So, not ridiculous prices at the end of the day. Anyways, Next up, she said, I gave out the seed and helped people get started because I wanted this to be a good, fair server, where people actually help each other and not one where everything is transactional and one-sided. Let's break that one down. She did give out the seed, mostly because I asked. I actually asked for it personally. I didn't ask her to give it to everyone. I just asked for it personally because I am a lazy cunt. I'm very lazy and I don't like looking for things. Also, I wanted to test something with my mob spawner. So, because I didn't want to break the actual one on the actual server, so I wanted to test that in a creative world first, which I done. But yeah, as for helped people get started, she actually did, but she didn't. One of the other people that I got accused of stealing, which the more I'm looking at this, I realise he probably was not stealing. Alright. But yeah, he probably wasn't stealing. It was probably her stealing, but I'm not gonna point fingers. I'm not gonna accuse somebody like a child because it's not who I am. Yeah, I can act like an absolute child, especially on the streams. You should definitely check them out. Just quick plug. I know it's probably not the time, but I mean, go and plug and promote your shit when you need. All right, when you get the opportunity, you promote. That's great life advice. Anyway, moving on. Let's get back to the serious stuff, right? Anyways, she then said, going forward, I want things to be more balanced and respectful. No stealing, no overpricing basic items. My apologies. And basic help shouldn't always come with a cost, and respect other people's builds and space. If that's not the kind of server people want, then this isn't going to work long term. I'm not saying this to start an argument. I just want the realm to actually be enjoyable again. Alright, first of all, it was already enjoyable. You just had to make a big deal out of something so small. So, you're the only one that's had an issue, nobody else. So you kinda lied. It's actually enjoyable for people. Just you wanted to make a whole thing out of it. Second of all, it would have worked out long term if you actually understand what trading is. If you wanted to be helpful and actually contribute something and actually help people out instead of just always asking for others' help, instead of not also helping them out. I'll explain that better, okay? Because I realise I'm not the best at explaining. Basically, she would always ask for help, and when you'd go to help her, yeah, she might pay you occasionally, but would she ever help you in return? No. She would not do shit for you. She would not help you. She would not do things for you. It was a mess. So she'd expect help for her, but if you expected her to help you, you were clearly out of luck because it was never going to happen. Anyways, the part where she points out, I want things to be more balanced and respectful. She says no stealing. First of all, you and your little boyfriend, as we're just going to call him, have probably already been stealing. So there's that. Not overpricing basic items. If you're going to ask for basic items in big bulks, expect people to price them quite high. That is how bartering works, that's how trading works. If you have played any type of game like Fallout or something, for example, they have a bartering system. If you ask for things in bulk, then you're going to pay a lot. Okay, it happens in any game, it also happens in real life. If you ask for things in bulk, you're going to have to pay more. So, that's kind of self-explanatory. Okay, if it was like 5 dirt, of course I'm not going to fucking charge you shit for it. I'll give you that shit, even if it's only a stack. I don't care. 9 stacks on the other hand, no, I might be charging you quite a bit for that, okay? Anyways, let's move on from this whole big-ass long paragraph, because quite frankly, I've had enough talking about that. Anyways, basically, these are the screenshots from a little bit before. Of course, Joe says, sorry I won't build a bridge, just wanted an easy way across. And as I said, my job is to highball people to get good prices. I trade things for profit, lol. Gotta make a profit somehow. I built a trading hut in this realm. So, of course, I'm going to be haggling for prices and trying to get good deals for myself. Well, it was sort of scamming people in a way, but also not scamming them. If you know what I mean. If you know how to trade and haggle and negotiate prices, perfect, you'll understand that. If you don't, I'm very, very sorry. Basically, she then replied to Jules, saying, you can have your bridge, but it doesn't have to be 8 blocks wide and my paths are 3 blocks. I just wanted you to make it skinnier. Jules also replied saying, also, there should be a rule for not using other stuff without asking, because she's had issues with that before. I've done that to her, but I've asked, and she's been fine with that. Other people, not so much. And then she replied saying it was actually 6 blocks. Selfix then replied saying 8, including the poles, Jules then said, was also just stairs. I didn't think it was a big deal. They weren't touching your island, they were just in the water. I then pointed out that the other bridge is actually 5, including the poles. So that's not an issue, apparently. But the other one is, even though it's like slightly bigger. She then said, I'm expanding the island. That's why I ask people not to do anything on it and say it's claimed land. First of all, you never said you're expanding it, so how are we supposed to know when you do not communicate back to us? That is how a conversation works. You are supposed to communicate. I apologise for any notifications to pop up. I am screen recording all this off my phone, as it's just for more convenient uses. Okay, so I apologise for any notifications that pop up. Just had to mention that. Anyways, because I'm not doing second tries on this. This is all me saying how I feel. This is not scripted at all. This is all genuine. All right. Anyways, she did says fix the free pathway though. That's like the least important point in that message. Okay. Well, no, it's not, because it's actually still bigger than 3 blocks. Yes, it fits the pathway. So does the other one. In a way, like you can just sort of extend it out slightly, like extend the pathway out, and then trim it as you're coming. Okay. Anyways, moving on. She said, who's been using stuff without asking? What stuff? I replied, a lot of people, to be honest. Jules then said, yeah, I have nothing, but people's been using. I'll blur that person's name out, it's perfectly fine. I worded that so wrong, but oh well. Self said, like what? Because she said, anyone can use an enchantment table, and so what else has been used. Okay, yeah, she did say that. She did say people can use her enchantment table. That's fair, but not physically going through her stuff and using it, okay? Jules then said her chicken farm, because she's been getting chickens stolen and killed. Then it took a long time to find, because we had a mod installed that added a bunch of animals, and all the base animals and mobs, like the peaceful ones, like cows, chickens, pigs, sheep, all that good stuff, they were a lot harder to spawn. So, yeah. Anyways, then she replied, well, that counts as stealing, and that's already in the rules, but no one fucking cares. They just do what they want, and that's why I'm already fed up. Okay, well, first of all, you do not enforce the rules, so don't know why you're complaining. Second of all, nobody else has had issues with this. Okay, yep, we've all experienced a bit of stealing. Okay, that's annoying. But at the end of the day, if you're not going to enforce the rules, nobody's going to follow them. So don't know how you expect to pull that one off, alright? Audio slightly gets worse at any point. I'm using a headset, and for some reason it constantly cuts out with this phone. It's a pain in the arse, but we move. Anyways, right after that, I then actually replied to her with the obvious answer of enforce some maybe. Somebody else then said, I'm not saying anything bad here, but people have been stealing out of mine, and blur her name. Chest and some stuff's been important. I then said, borrowing is fine, but stealing, then lying about it, just ain't right. Talked about the earlier situation with that other person. Selfix then said, the only way to enforce the rules is by kicking people, and I need proof of who the thief is, so it's fair. Like, there's actually no point. If only like 8 people, it's already a mess. That sentence gave me a heart attack to read in my head and also reading out loud. I had a stroke reading that. Please learn a bit of English, okay? If that makes sense to you, fair enough. You could actually understand that. To me, I'm a bit special, let's say. I'm not quite there on the head. I then said, well, I mean, the C's ain't hard to figure out if you actually think about it, and if you think about the patterns, not gonna lie. She said, DM me the names, don't put them in the public chat. I was really tempted to put them there, but I don't. I did give her names. I actually also accused her little boyfriend. And I don't think she liked that. So things didn't go well. She also never actually replied to that DM after I sent it, so good chance she never ever saw it. which is absolutely brilliant. Right. This is towards the start. I said, so realms crash for all of us at once, and it won't load. Any reason for that? Atida said, why is the realm closed? We've all put hours into that already. Like, what the fuck was the point in that? Jules then replied, 13 hours yesterday, 11 hours, no, 13 hours today, my apologies, 11 hours yesterday. Jen, what is the point? And I said, kind of just ruined it for everyone else for something so small and stupid. She said, I agree, I'm not even really talking to anyone about what they were doing wrong. I said, honestly, all of this could have been avoided. I can't lie, I was just trying to enjoy myself, play, same with others. And Jules said, not trying to start on yourself, just state the facts. And she said, I shut it down while I decided what to do with the stealing situation and all the other shit. You can tell I care a lot about the realm. I'm just stressed because all this petty shit is ruining it, and if you want to call me a fucking childish for protecting my own peace and taking time to deal with something, you can kindly leave my server. Now, this is the point in time where there's actually a mod installed that let you lock chests as long as you have the key and you lock it. As long as you don't lose that key, you can unlock it with the said key. No one else can craft a key, come along and unlock it. It's the key that you use, okay? So as then said, there's a chest lock mod installed. Use that. I used a bit of common sense, okay? I was being smart. Alright, well this was the point where I think I was already, gone. I was already booted, which, I mean, fair enough, as it is. Anyways, so Sylphix said, so he shouldn't speak to me like that. That's why he's gone. I'm fed up. Wrong night to start me. We already covered that part, so no need to go into detail. I know these screenshots are a bit over the place. This video is going to be over the place. I'm only editing the clips together. I'm not editing like the fucking placement of it. Okay, this is all raw, uncut footage. Let's say footage. This is all raw, unedited mostly. It's slightly edited with me putting the clips together, but other than that, it's mostly unedited. Okay. So yeah, you get my genuine reaction to my genuine words to this situation. Okay. Jules then said, you kinda started on us, I'll be honest, we were all chilling till this happened. She then replied saying, you've had me crying all day of how you have been treating me in my own server. I sent a civil paragraph just asking for basic respect, and all you had to talk about was a stupid bridge. There was more to the message than that. Like, seriously, I was clearly upset after trying to do something fun for all of us and being ignored over and over. I doubt anyone reads the rules because people keep telling me to add rules that are already in place. Yous, not all, have no respect for me or the realm. Sorry to bust your bubble, we do have respect for you, or we would have if you weren't a whiny little bitch. You are 21 years old, and you're acting like a 5-year-old toddler. If that does not tell you what type of person she is, please go get mental help. Please check yourself into a mental health facility, or somewhere, okay, on an insane asylum, because you are clearly on the same boat as her, and you don't actually realise that. Good luck, I guess. Anyways, yeah, she basically pulled out the I have been crying all day card. Yes, the card to make us all feel bad and try and guilt trip us. Quick hint, didn't work. It kind of made us hate you a bit more. I can't lie, so you actually done the opposite. Anyways, Jules then replied, not being cheeky, you can't tell tone in text. Well, I wasn't trying to ignore you. If it's in DMs, I always reply fast. If it's stuff in game for help, I'm always doing stuff when you ask. Which is the same for everybody else. We're always doing stuff when she asks. So, don't get why you think people are going to drop everything they're doing just to help you. No offence. Alright, we're off the fucking Discord screenshots. For now, I hope, I don't really remember how many of them there is, but for now, we're off the Discord screenshots. We're on to some Minecraft ones. So basically, this is some chats after I was, gone. Of course, as soon as I was gone, they began to raid my house, her and her little boyfriend. Shocker to absolutely no one. They didn't find anything useful, because I told the other 3 that were actually helping me, where all my valuable shit was. So they got to take all the good shit while they got left with all the bad stuff. 10 out of 10, I hide my things because I'm actually smart and I know what I'm doing. Anyways, the chats still say, I have no keys, who's locked your chest in? Because they were all locking their chests. One of them replies, I don't know. Jules then says, I'm locking my stuff and the stuff Van has because I don't want people in it. I'll lock them when I need the stuff. And she said, as no harm, he said I can have his stuff, so I'm taking it as I'm still running around and iron and less than 20 diamonds. Selvix then said, Jules, stop arguing with everything I say. I'm the host, I've made the rules, and my plan's clear. You can leave if you don't like it. She said, my bad. Not that she meant it. I did say to Jules, she can have my stuff. If I was not going to be back in that server, gladly. I'm going to give her all my stuff. We helped each other a lot to get a bunch of rare and good gear, so I'm not just going to let a bunch of randoms come into my base and raid it. I'm of course going to give it to someone who actually helped me, who actually deserves it. So that's what I done. Moving on, this is just Discord accounts, both of them. So if you ever see these, please do not speak to them. Alright, please do not also send hate to these two. Okay, I just want to clear that one up. Things then got out of hand, and Sylph then said, This is what griefers get, be warned. Burning down Jules' house that she spent multiple hours on. After she'd done nothing, she had not even been kicked at this point, she was actually still a part of the realm. Someone else replied, What? Jules griefed? Which, no, she did not. Okay, that's just Sylphix being childish and a spoiled little brat. Okay. This is also her then just cheating, straight up going into creative mode to do it all. She was so persistent about, no, I'm not going to use cheats, I want to get the achievements, and then proceeded to go into creative mode regardless after all this kicked off. So, well done, yes. Well, I guess you swallowed your pride in a way and actually went off against your own word. I don't really know. Anyway, this is also one of the TikTok accounts. We already showed the other one. But let's get into some of the rules that she said. These are her rules. Just so you know. Just so you are aware of her rules. And the fact that we did not break any rules. So here's the pictures of her rules. It says, welcome at the realm. Please read the rules before playing, blah, blah, blah. All that. General rules. Be respectful to everyone at all times. We were respectful until she started on us. No bullying, harassment, or discrimination. None of us done that. No spamming, trolling, or causing unnecessary drama. Well, you kind of broke one of your own rules, so unfortunate, I guess. And listen to admin / mods, their word is final. Last I checked, Jules was a mod on here. So last I also checked, her word is final. And she told me otherwise. She told me that I could do what I was doing, and I did. She also done what she wanted to do, and she did. Alright. Gameplay rules. No griefing, do not destroy or ruin builds. We had not done any of that. She actually started on that by raiding my stuff, which is also stealing. Which covers the next rule. No stealing. Respect other players' items and chests. Sorry, but you're then stealing from someone. Yes, they might not be in the server anymore, but did I say you could have my shit? No. I gave it to someone else, so you're not having my shit. That's stealing. Alright? And no griefing. As you seen in the previous screenshot, she burned someone's house down. That's also griefing. You're just breaking all your own rules at this point. She said, no hacking, cheating, or using unfair mods. Okay, all the mods that are installed are the ones she had installed. We're all on Bedrock. Some of us are actually on console. If we are somehow getting cheats and hacks onto a fucking console, NASA better fucking hire me then, because that's outrageous. And then she said, no duplicating / glitch abusing. I feel like I should very much speak about this one. She said at one stage, if any has got any armor trims, dupe them. However, her rules specifically say, no duplicating. Why do you want us to dupe something if it's in the rules and it says we can't? Make it make sense. Alright, next up it says, ask before building near someone. Keep the world looking nice, don't leave random messes everywhere, and replace anything you accidentally break. Okay, first of all, ask before you build near someone. Jules did say she was building this bridge. Sylph had no issue with it to begin with, until then she decided that she was going to expand on land. That's when she had an issue with it. Okay, she'd already asked before, and the green light was given. Keep the world looking nice, don't leave random messes everywhere. Okay, completely unrelated topic, but if you're going to let somebody build a fucking KFC, and you're also going to let your a little boyfriend build an eyesore of a house out of stone and like 3 different types of wood that do not even look together, and it looks like somebody just vomited it out onto the spot and he just lives in it. They're eyesores. Does not make the world look nice. Okay? So, sorry to tell you, that one's already out the window too. And replace anything you accidentally break. Unrelated topic, she had not lit her house up at one point. I was in there, a creeper exploded, and I actually got made to replace everything. My bad, you don't know how to light up your own fucking house to not let mobs spawn. Like, I thought that was common sense in Minecraft, but apparently not. Anyways, PvP and interactions. PvP only if both players agree. No one has actually killed at any point, so we're all okay. No killing players repeatedly, so no targeting and harassment. The only time that I was sort of doing this was when I would run past a mate of mine and I would just randomly hit him and run off. No, I was not killing him. I was whacking him with a fucking stick or my fist and then running off and would laugh about it. So, no issues. And no trapping players or setting unfair traps. None of those were broken. We're A-okay. Realm Equitique. I don't fucking know how to say that word. I'm too special. Anyways, don't build too close to others without permission. Okay. Your boyfriend built like, right in front of my house. It was an eyesore. He did not have permission to do that because I'd already built my house before. So, already that one's out the window. Don't take from farms/resources that aren't yours without asking. You have been repeatedly stealing from other people's farms, so you broke that rule yourself. And try to keep things fair and enjoyable for everyone. It was already enjoyable for everyone until you decided to start some little snowflake, 5-year-old, petty little drama. Please grow up. Please check yourself into a mental hospital or go back to school because you need to learn how to grow the fuck up, sorry to tell you. Just a few other rules. She's like, strictly not allowed griefing, stealing, hacking, x-ray, cheats, toxic behaviour. Okay, well you grief people first after, like, they'd done nothing because you didn't get your way, so you threw a temper tantrum and griefed. You also stole from multiple people, and also stole from me after you decided to boot me. So it was the only way you could actually try and get anything good, and you still didn't. Hacking x-ray and cheats, you actually actively let people use them. Like, they asked you, and you agreed to it without issue, so that's kind of your fault. And toxic behaviour. You throw a tantrum like a petty child. Self-explanatory, mate. Alright, I'm not going to go into a bunch of detail on this. Basically, we'd all hated her, and the others were already going to dip and never join back. So I orchestrated a little bit of trolling. She wanted to be childish, so I was childish back. You could call this petty myself. I don't really care what you call it. I call it a little bit of light trolling. Basically, I got on it to set a bunch of traps and a bunch of TNT right under a house. As soon as you walk in to open a single chest, the whole place blows up. She set the trap off herself. The person who set it up set it off herself because Selfix was taking that long. I know, it's a joke, man. These are just the conversations between her little boyfriend, Rexy, right here. Yep. We're going to give this man a big shout out. Yeah. No, I do have a picture of him for his safety and his own, well, I guess safety. I'm just going to repeat the same word, I guess. But for his safety, pretty much, I'm not showing that, okay? Like, that is too far. I'm not the type of person to sit and fucking do that. No. I'll share all these screenshots, but no. I'm not showing a picture of him because that is just completely out of pocket, okay? Anyways, basically, these two were sleeping. Well, I say sleeping, they were going back and forth, but one of them was trying to sleep. Basically, good boy Flixer right here. Don't know why I called him a good boy, that was kind of unnecessary. But anyways, she said, I don't know, me and Katie are on call, just me and her, and I was there for proof. Rexy said, what the fuck, the full house is gone. Talked about Souls, because guess what, I orchestrated them to blow up. I also taught them how to spread TNT around and actually make it spread out further. I'm very good. I'm also an evil cunt when you decide to get on my nerves. Flixie was like, I know, bro. I don't know how. Rexy was like, what did she do? Flixie said, she only went over to cook something. I promise. Yeah. Rexy said, there's nothing here, like explosive-wise, from what I can see. Flixie said, really? Rexy said, yes. Yeah, I got them to cover it up that well, so it didn't even look like TNT had been placed. Even though the kill feed it said she died to a TNT explosion. Clearly not the brightest people. So yeah, probably go back to skill, mate. Flexi said, I don't know then. Rexy said, only leaves one other option. Flexi said, what bro, if you ban, obviously, person right here, you gotta ban me. I don't want to leave her out, so I can't, man. Rexy said, you and Thingy, TNT did it before you went off and forgot about it. And then when it went off, when she went to cook and it blew everything up. I also had a stroke reading that sentence. These people cannot type basic English sentences. You speak English. How can you not type in a sentence in your own language? Sorry to tell you. And before anybody says, yes, I'm aware Scottish is an actual official language now. Yippee. Great. Half of us are Scottish, including Rexy and Sylph, and myself. But still saying English because it's more clearer that way. Okay, so. Anyways. Basically, Celtics have a sent to Flexi. Blah blah blah, all that stuff. Flix is like, what time it's 10 on till, so Flix is like, till I've removed all traces of previous members, talking about me, they don't exist anymore as far as I'm convinced. Yeah, I don't think that's how it works, okay, sorry to tell you. Flix is like, okay, I'd help, but I'm dying. Obviously just playing it up slightly. Self is like, it's fine, got this. Flix is like, you're almost done anyway. Self then said, you asked me when I was going off, then at AFK, and boom, my house is gone. I had backups who weren't in the world. It was definitely Katie. I know you're on a group chat sending screenshots to Van. I got name dropped in it. Surprisingly, clearly not removing all traces of me. So you lied. But nice to see I get a little shout out. After I kicked him, I don't know why you've all been off with me today, but I'm done with it. Anyway, hope you and your group chat are happy. I was happy, sort of. But once this video comes out, I'm going to be even more happy because then the truth is out. So happy days. Happy days. I'll be more happy. And Selfix, if you do see this, please learn to grow up. I will take this down if you actually agree to apologise and we move on from this. We don't have to be friends. We don't have to speak to each other. As long as I get an apology, happy days. As long as everybody else in that server gets an apology, happy days. I'll put this all behind us. The video will be deleted. Okay? That's a message to Selfix and Selfix only. No, not you, Rexy. You're irrelevant in this currently. Okay? Until we bring you up again. But until then, you're irrelevant. But yeah. Pretty much, she did not like what we had planned. We planned this for like a good while. This was like 4 in the morning. This all kicked off at like 12. Yes, this took 4 hours to orchestrate all this. Am I proud of it? Yes. Was it petty? Also yes. But was it funny? Also yes. I realise one of them should have been a no. Just a little screenshot of proof to actually show that she did close it at some stage. This is when I still had access to it, by the way. I don't have access to this anymore. Not that I really care, I don't, okay? It's not too important. But anyways, that's probably where I'm going to end this. Sorry that it's been so long, I apologise. If you have stuck through to the end, please like this, please share it, spread it as far as possible. I want word to be known. I want people to know the truth about her because she is a rapidly growing curator on the platform. So I feel like people should know who she really is before she gets more popular. Let's say before she grows more. I feel like people should really know what type of person she actually is before she grows more as a creator. I'm not usually the type of person to call people out, but this is one of the exceptions that I have. Because, yeah, it was a bunch of petty bullshit over a game made for children, and she got really pissed off about it and became really petty over it. So one last thing, Sylph, if you're watching this, please learn to grow up next time. Second of all, maybe watch who the fuck you're messing with before you get called out and before everything then goes public, which if you're watching this already is public, so I'd like for that. And 3, don't abuse your power and think you can get away with it like nothing happened. And also 4, don't try and erase people as if they never existed. That's not how life works. It'll come back to bite you in the arse. That's Scottish slang. That's Scottish for you non-Scottish people right there. But yeah, it'll come back to bite you at some stage if you just try to forget. It's not that easy, alright? So I hope you've learned your lesson. If you want to apologise, you still have my Discord, I'm pretty sure. So by all means, unblock it. Apologise, we move past this. I'll consider deleting the video. But other than that, the video's going to stay up. Next slight message, Rexy, you did not need to get involved, alright? You don't need to be, that close, alright? We know what you're trying to do. You little creepy cunt. I can't lie. I'm not going to say anything weird. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to accuse you of anything or accusations because I'm not the type of person I am. But you do look like a bit of a creep. I can't lie, and you also sort of act like one slightly. That's all I'm going to say about it. But if you also want to apologise, you also have my Discord, so you can also text it and unblock me, apologise. I'll be happy to accept both your apologies. Not that I'll be friends with either of you again, not that I'll really speak to either of you again, but I will accept your apologies, and I will make a follow-up video showing that you've apologised, and we can move past this, alright? But other than that, this is where I'm going to end this video. It's a bit more serious, it's not the type of content I normally make, so if you have stuck through to the end, I really do appreciate it. Please engage with this video, get out to as many people as possible, alert as many people as you know, alright? But yeah, if you have stuck through at the end, I really, really appreciate that. But please engage with the video, like it, follow me on TikTok or subscribe on YouTube, wherever you're watching. Comment on said video. Basically, just engage with it. The more engagement, the more people see this, and the more people will then know the truth about it all. But yeah, that's the time. That's the point in time. It's the end of the video. I can then tell you to fuck off. Go do what you're doing. Go watch something else. I don't know what you're watching. I don't know what you were watching before this. If you're doom scrolling through TikTok, I don't know what you were watching before this. Go back to watching it, okay? Shoo. Fuck off. Get out of here. Right. Anyways, make sure to subscribe or follow, depending on what platform you're on. And honestly, just enjoy. Enjoy what I've got posted. And yeah. And Rexy, if you are watching this, I do wish you the best of luck in the future. Alright? I'm not going to be petty. I'm not going to say a bunch of bad things, but I do wish you luck for the future.